There's a massive patch of plastic in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, an expanse of junk the size of Mongolia, of varying concentration from all corners of the world. But why is this still a thing in the big 2026? Let's take a dive.
In the past, recycling was the big hype of eco-responsible culture. It was pretty simple. You took your container, rinsed it, threw it in the blue bin, and then poof, the truck went off to melt it and recycle it responsibly. Until we realized that's not what's happening.
Only 9% of plastic really gets recycled, and that's not even the main problem.
We're going to see why developing new biodegradable alternatives to plastic is the best way to fight it, and why current alternatives haven't beat it yet. If you aren't familiar with them, bioplastics are basically just normal plastics, except they take weeks to months to decompose instead of 600 years. Well, at least that's what they're supposed to do. Plastic alternative developments have been on the rise in recent years, with several universities, companies, and labs trying to come up with their own solution. But even though billions of dollars have been spent on these developments, we still don't see these biodegradable alternatives in our everyday items like plastic bottles, toys, or containers. Why?
Plastic is an extremely abundant, useful, and cheap material.
It's one of the world's most produced goods because it's light, flexible, smooth, waterproof, and, most importantly, easy to manufacture. That's pretty hard to beat when you realize that alternatives have to do all this and decompose within only a few months after.
And for these reasons, none of the current bioplastics can beat it at this moment.
Cost is a big restrainer. Most plastics sell for about $1 US per kilo, and depending on materials used, bioplastics range from $2 to $8 per kilo.
This cost gap alone deters most manufacturers because it either shrinks or eliminates the profit margin.
And while some bioplastics can reach as low as $1.30 US per kilo, they then usually present another issue: performance.
One of the characteristics we saw earlier about what makes plastic so dominant is its waterproofing and bending ability.
When you're trying to design a material to be at the time waterproof, but also to break down subsequently in only a few weeks, it's pretty difficult.
The cheapest bio-alternatives, like PLA, are made from crops like corn or sugarcane.
They show great smoothness and bendability, but they're unreliable for water resistance, which is a huge nerve when we're trying to design a material that can hold food and water and remain solid after a rainy day. And finally, lots of bioplastics aren't totally efficient as drop-in products.
Drop-in means that a product or material can be incorporated into an existing system easily. It's extra steps or inability to use the same process that makes bioplastics hard to accept for industry. While some can be melted and molded like real plastic, some absorb water while cooling. Others warp more. Others yet might need more heat to melt, but burn at a lower temperature. Virtually every alternative has some manufacturing weakness that slows down its production and keeps it in a niche. So if cost, production, and manufacturing are the problem, this is where I'm trying to change things. Now if you follow my channel, you know I've been spending over a year working in my basement like Walter Heisenberg, designing a new kind of bioplastic.
While I can't drop ratios, I can tell you that based on my predictions, my plastic costs the same, performs as well, and can be manufactured just the same as many kinds of conventional plastic.
I'm still trying to confirm my formula works, and I'll access real labs once the emails respond. Right now, I'm trying to prove this works. If it does, it could actually replace plastic. I'll show you every step of the way.